Hi, my name's Jen. Welcome to my channel, All My Plants. Today's video is a plant room tour. It's a fairly hot mess in here. I haven't had the best week. This is actually later than I intended to do this. Like I said, I've just not had a fantastic week. But we'll get into that at the very end, so that if you're not interested in, life stuff, you don't have to hear that. You can just go ahead and watch the plants. So I guess we're gonna do that. I've got two large random shelves in here, 2 wire racks, 2 slim shelves, and a short wire rack. And that's where the majority of the plants in this room are. I'm not sure how many's in here. I'm gonna say around 200 in this room. No really large plants. I don't think, there's a couple that are, bigger, but most of my large plants on poles, are not in this room. So we'll do that, the other room, on another day. But we'll do this one for now, I suppose. So yeah, let's go ahead and start. I'm going to take you down off of here, and we're going to start with this shelf. This is the newest shelf, the one that I've most recently acquired. So we'll start there. It's, I'm going to say about 6 foot long and maybe 4 and a piece tall. Not sure. But yeah, so this is kind of the chaos that's going on in here. Like I said, it is a mess. I'm not even ashamed of it right now. I just have not had the mental fortitude, the willpower, to deal with it. As a matter of fact, most of these plants haven't been watered in a week or better until today. That's how I've spent the morning, is kind of trying to catch up on some watering. This plant here, my husband says it's on life support. It's not. I'm just re-wetting the moss pole while I do other things. It's 250 milliliters per hour. Those hold 3.5 liters, or about a gallon of water, depending on what measurements you use. It's 250 milliliters per hour is what I feed into these poles. It takes probably 3 to 5 hours, depending on how dry they are. This one was bone dry. They're all bone dry right now. If you don't speak in milliliters, 250 milliliters is about 8 ounces. If you don't speak in ounces, 8 ounces is about like a normal standard size cup of tea, so, or coffee, So that's how much per hour I'm feeding into these poles right now. Which might seem like a slow way to do it, but that's, when it's that hydrophobic, it's a very convenient way to do it. So if you see those bags hanging around, that's what that's about. So plant cart, corner of chaos, is now just the corner of junk. The futon that I can't seem to get out of here, it will eventually come out of this room, but for now it's just sitting there. Stud finder, because I've got a plant wall downstairs and I was wanting to hang that back there, but first I kind of want to get the futon out of the way, so that's on hold. But anyway, supply cart that really needs some organization. I just haven't gotten there. And it's not a priority. It's still holding the stuff. It's just chaos trying to find it. Philodendron summer glory here on the floor. I've had it a couple years. It's doing pretty good. I did water this one today. It had a flower. And I just left it until it dried off on its own. But it seems to be doing okay. It's alright. This is where it got chewed up by katydids out in the greenhouse over the summer. I don't think this one's going back out this year. It's too big. It's too big to be carrying around, and it's not going to get any smaller. It's about 4 feet wide, so it probably looks wider than it is. But it's a space hog for sure. Other things in the floor over here, the anthurium seedlings are in there. They probably would have dried out and died over the past week, except for that they're in a closed container. One of the Radicans luxurians crosses, this one here is down here because it's been treated for spider mites. It doesn't look great. It'll be alright, I think. I think. Some sort of dragon scale alocasia. Philodendron Florida ghost that I just did pot up. It was propagations, so we've actually got some white growth again, because it was all green. They were never coming out with any white on them. It looks kind of ridiculous right now, but it'll grow into itself. The Alocasia tanderusa or Jacqueline down there that I still haven't done anything with. I've been meaning to pull it out of there and strip it down to the corm, honestly, and I just haven't. But yeah, maybe you can see. I don't know if we're focusing. It's got a new little pup sprouting up down there. Philodendron Paraíso Verde. Are we focusing on that? I can't tell. And Epipremnum Cebu Blue. It's there because it was just being watered. I tend to hang the bags on furniture. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on down there in the floor. Bottom shelf is mostly just storage down there. There's some pond under there drying. There's one little Nabuensis, Hoya Nabuensis down there. All of the Hoya are currently covered in sulfur. So if they're looking a little spotty or splashier than usual, they're not. It's just sulfur. So I guess we'll just go up and down each shelf. Shall we do that? Oh no, we didn't even talk about this over here. Global Green Pothos. It needs more light. It is just here, as my husband would say, because it was on life support. It was getting watered. This is Monstera Esqueleto. It needs also some light. It's been sitting in a corner for a while. You can see the leaves have gotten smaller. It needs an extension. I just haven't gotten there. But yeah, they're both doing okay-ish, I guess, except for that I keep letting them dry out a lot. It's not ideal. Now the shelf here, that's the anthurium cobra or Bonplandii, I think is how you say that. I'm not sure. It's doing nothing right now, but it seems okay. It's maintaining. Red vein Maranta. It looks like a Maranta. I guess it's doing alright. And the Indonesian marble, Indonesian mint Ansonii here, looking kind of weird. It's doing alright. It's doing okay. It's not hating its life, I think. Possibly, potentially. I don't know. That's what's under there. Then up here, I've got Syndapsis Jade. Yeah. Jade Satin Syndapsis, something like that. I don't know. This one here just randomly variegated there. For a long time I was like, okay, is that damage? But it never changed. It's not anything on the leaf. It doesn't go all the way through. It's just that top layer has a little bit of variegation. Only on this leaf on this plant. Very strange. Go figure. It also randomly puts out leaves with just a little bit of splash. Like, you know, like your normal Syndapsis, I guess. But either way, I thought it's pretty. It's a pretty one. I prefer it all green. So that's that one. That is, it has a tag. Look, Miles, I remembered to tag it. Hoya clandestina, which has been a very steady grower, very good Hoya. Doesn't require much for me. I didn't see any flat mites on this, but I sprayed all of the Hoya, whether they had flat mites or not. They've all been thoroughly saturated with sulfur. So this is Ficus ruby with apparently terrible variegation, but I prefer it. I guess I really like that kind of silvery blue color. It's very pretty. Begoner, who are you? I still haven't repotted this. Begonia semperflorens Kalen. Yeah, it just did stop flowering. It kind of flowered constantly for a while there. I want to say Arboricola, but that's not right. Schefflera? I think it's Mini Schefflera or something like that. Sorry, we're not focusing great. I like it. It's cute. It's grown a bit. And then up here above that, my temperature gauge. So 24 degrees Celsius or 75 degrees Fahrenheit, almost 76. And 42% humidity. The highest it's been up to today was 49. The lowest was 38. My or one of them anyway, monstera aurea. That's the newest leaf up here. I think it's getting entirely too much light. Maybe you can see. I don't know. I'm sure it's blowing out a bit because of the light above us. But yeah, it's doing all right. This is the newest leaf, unfortunately, on my Alocasia cuprea. Yeah. Came out like that. That one actually took forever to grow. I don't know. It just, I think I pulled it back to the corm. I can't remember. Maybe it went back to the corm itself. It really took forever to bounce back. It's got 3 leaves on it now, and that was probably a year ago that it was a corm again. Alocasia dragon's breath, which is very pretty. Doing quite well. Never a problem with this plant. Kind of love that about this plant. I like a plant that doesn't give me a hard time. Then next door neighbors in the center of this shelf all the way down. Variegated string of hearts. I like it. It's an easy plant. I find that it does need to be trimmed quite a lot. I just don't like untangling it. And it will kind of tangle all over itself, but it's very pretty. I just did put it up here, trying to get some more pink in it. The new growth will often have pink instead of white. I guess maybe you can see it a little bit on that one. But yeah, so that's a trait that this plant has that I like, so that's why it's up there, trying to get it some higher light. I didn't even mention it, but this is very dim. I don't know if that's obvious. It's these little strip lights. I haven't even taken these off yet. I haven't done any cord management. But it seems very dim to me. I don't think it's even 200-foot candles of light. So I'm not sure if we're gonna continue with that lighting situation. Anyway, back over here. Sport variegated Alocasia dragon scale. This is the newest leaf here. Only the occasional little yellow dot here and there. There's a leaf. There's another one back there. So I don't know. It's all right. It's doing okay. The Ficus triangularis variegated that I just got has lots of new growth. All of the ones that kind of look yellowish are new. Still haven't repotted it. I did remember to water it today, so that's good. Hoya huscheliana, which has kind of stopped growing. No, I guess not. I can see maybe you can see it. Focus. There's some new leaves here and there. I've been meaning to repot it pretty much since I got it, and I just haven't yet. But I'll get there. Then next shelf down, I can't ever remember what that plant is called. Falsaralia. I'll put the actual name on screen. If it ever dries out, it's done. Throw it away. It's kind of one of those plants. It does not tolerate underwatering, not even a little. So yeah. Hoya meredithii. Yeah. And it's doing okay. It had stopped growing. I had it in, pawn. And the leaves all of a sudden looked very thin and deflated. But I didn't see anything wrong with it. So I've put it in soil. And we're just waiting to see if it grows again. The leaves have plumped back up. It did re-root in there. Oh, I did cut the roots off because they were just like sloughing off. So yeah, we're just waiting for it to start growing again. Looks okay. Once again, I did treat it with sulfur. I didn't see anything on it, but I did. Hoya Chelsea, its neighbor. This one's fine. I have not had any problems with this one. But once again, I did go ahead and treat it with sulfur anyway because I was doing everybody else. It really hasn't stopped growing in quite a while now. It was just a few leaf cutting at one point not too terribly long ago. Back there, that's Hoya Natalie. It is mad, or Nathalie, I'm not sure how you say it. It is mad because I snatched it out of pond once again. I'm converting it to soil. This leaf here is definitely going to go. Is it gone already? I don't know. Yeah. It's just not rooting. So throw that away. But yeah, it's it's got some new growth right here, so hopefully it'll recover all right, I hope. One of the little clarinerviums, somebody said, yeah, that's a really small pot to put it in, and I think I said not too long ago, I think it's levitating. It is. It is pushing itself up out of the leca. I just didn't use a deep enough pot. I tried to force it down in there. That didn't go well. It needs to be repotted already, and I just did it maybe a month ago. The next shelf down, it's, who are you? Pink spot tricolor, syngonium pink spot tricolor, just a regular heartleaf philodendron. That is Hoya imperialis red flower. I almost killed that. It was so dry. It was so dry. The leaves, I mean, it's kind of a thinner leaved Hoya anyway, but they were extra thin. It does seem to be perking back up, so maybe it'll survive. We'll see. In the back there, philodendron tortum. It lost a couple of its bottom leaves due to the underwatering of January 2025. Variegated Bretonnier. It was doing fine. Once again, I was just kind of spraying everything, so I sprayed that guy too. Looks alright. And then the last section there, I guess we'll start with the one on the wall. That's hurricane cactus. Don't know the actual name of it. I'll put it on the screen. This one does fine. I haven't watered it in over a month. It is not the kind that really appreciates underwatering to that degree. It's probably one that could be watered every couple of weeks and be very happy. Weekly is even better for me in this soil. But yeah, I'm surprised it looks okay. We've got some dry ends, but overall it really doesn't look that bad. I'll need to take that down and water it, but that's for this afternoon, Jen. So this is rhipsalis. Oh, who are you? I want to say ramulosa, but that's not right. Maybe it's robusta. If I can figure it out, I have put it on the screen right here. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's doing okay. It's pretty dry. It's very, yeah, it needs water. It has new growth, which might stop now that I've underwatered it so horribly, but we'll see. We'll see. And then this is, I think it was called, oh, pink Birkin or something like that. It's, you know, a Congo type, red Congo, I believe. And it does have a little tiny bit of variegation. I don't know if that's obvious, but it's in this cup where it's been for absolutely years. So I don't ever want to have to take it out of there, but I should. I have forgotten to water that for months on end. I haven't cleaned it in years. It had a fungal issue, which I may or may not have taken care of. That's why I chopped the plant up in the first place, but I don't know. It's just chilling there. This Hoya here, Hoya icensis. Hoya icensis. And once again, it was doing okay. I don't think I saw anything on this one. I can't remember, but I sprayed it anyway. Hoya, or not Hoya, philodendron silver stripe, which a lot of it just kind of looks like, you know, your regular old Hoya, or philodendron Brazil, but it's silver stripe, I guess is what it's called. I just plunked this in here not too long ago. Looks like it's doing all right. We got some new growth, so. Hoya bella, which I just repotted in here about, you know, there's like 2 cuttings in here, I guess, because this one looks okay, and then this one looks like it's at death's door. So I don't know. If it dies, it dies. The next shelf down, Hoya Wilbur Graves up here, doing all right. If I could get my hand out of the way so maybe we could focus on the plant. Some sort of rhipsalis cereoides, is that right? That's not right. Cibrata. Rhipsalis Cibrata, which I guess is gonna put out a nice little flower. That little yellow dot that we're not gonna focus on apparently. But anyway, it's got lots and lots of new growth at the top, which is hard to focus on also. Yeah, that one's doing good. The variegated Syngonium jade got some new leaves. It's just suddenly decided that it does want to grow after all. But I don't think it's grown from either place where I cut it. No, there's 2 vines on the back that I've cut. Neither one of those is showing new growth. One there and one up here at the top. I don't know, go figure. A Hoya, I'm not sure which kind. My daughter bought it. It's getting ready to flower. Yeah, it's getting ready to send out a flower spike from down in there, I guess maybe you can say. My daughter bought it before she went to college, so I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago maybe. And it was in this little teeny pot, and now there are probably 3 or 4 that size, and one even larger around here. The gift that keeps on giving. And I don't think she even has one anymore. I'm gonna have to send one home with her. But anyway, what's left of my Hoya linearis, which seems to be doing okay, I guess. I don't know. It had mealybugs. I think this one here is not doing well. Maybe this one didn't have roots. Oh yeah, that's why. I stuck it in there to try to root it and it just didn't. I guess I'll have to actually do it the old-fashioned way and take some cuttings. Anyway, it's fine. Another rhipsalis. I don't know which one this is, but I love it. This is the Cereoides, rhipsalis cereoides. It needs to be repotted. It's drying out really quick. Well, I say that, but I haven't watered it in probably a week, so at least a week. Next shelf down, the only pink princess I have left in my collection. I had one on a pole. I got frustrated with it. I threw it out. I said I was downsizing and getting rid of quite a few plants. That was one I decided to get rid of. It didn't look good. This is probably one of the better looking ones I have, this little bitty thing. And it was propagating forever. So I just did stick it in here, I don't know, a few weeks ago. And it's bone dry. But it actually had some nice half moons, so I was like, okay, I'll try with that one. Homelamina selby, I believe it is. The color is not great on it. I don't think it's getting enough light. It looks like a camouflage, but it did not when I got it, so go figure. Syngonium platinum / silver hero. I think this one was sold to me as platinum, but it looks exactly like the one that was sold to me as silver hero, so I believe they're the same thing. And I think that is everybody on that shelf. So it's about 50 plants in that area. It doesn't really seem like that many to me, but I guess it's that many. And then this wire rack here that I was talking about, this is a short one. Philodendron majestic, looking all dusty. The new leaves are really struggling to come out at all nicely. And part of that is definitely underwatering. I bet this is dry. It is very dry. Very dry. And I think I did water that like the day before things went awry around here. So, yeah. That back there is Epiprenum skeleton key. We're not getting any keys yet. But it is kind of starting to attach to the pole, so we'll see. Another philodendron Florida ghost that I just tried to pot up. I did a really ramshackle job. Only one had a nice white leaf come out, and I broke it. Billietiae, looking all sticky. Philodendron Billietiae. It's kind of taken a break from growing for a while now. I don't know. Maybe I'm just underwatering it a lot. I'm sure I am. And then down here, there's some rough looking stuff on here. The Wisteria that we just repotted, it looks bigger already. Maybe I'm imagining things, but yeah, that's doing really well. It's appreciated its repot. Back behind it, that is propagations from a monkey tail cactus that I broke. Hoya back there, the monkey tail cactus that I broke, which it's very yellow and it's not very fuzzy. And I hear that the reason it looks like that is because I was not giving it enough light. So I've put it in higher light. I've repotted it finally. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It has lots of new growth. See some back there. So we'll see if we can get it nice and dense and fuzzy like it should look. Back behind that, in that Tupperware, is just a chunk of philodendron Bob C that's not doing a whole lot. Some sort of random succulent there in the owl pot, and behind that is, a plant that I can never remember the name of. Hoya Zebrina variegated. So that just recently got an up pot because it was still in a little teeny pot, kept falling over, and it was never quite hydrated. So we'll see how it does in terracotta, but it is quite a big pot, so we'll see. This poor thing, I don't know what I've done to it. It's like Hoya lobii orange or something like that. This is the only leaf I think it's grown since I've had it. Yeah, I have the dark as well. I got them both from the same person. They were both perfect when they came. I think they both had peduncles when they came. This one here has really struggled with me. So the other one, not so much. And then on the bottom is a bunch of things that are really not happy. Here's even more of that same Hoya. Did you know they grew such thick aerial roots? Can you see them down there? That's crazy, right? I did not know that. I do now. ZZ Raven. That was, oxalis back there. I just don't have it in me to care right now. That sounds terrible, but I just don't. And I know that plant will be okay dormant for a while, so it'll be fine until I'm fine. You know what I mean? This is a stump from a variegated monstera aurea. Yeah, you can kind of see the yellow in the main stem there. So this one here didn't do any variegated things. Oops, sorry. Why? There we go. Nope, come on. Focus. This one didn't do any variegated things, so we're waiting to see if this one does. Or the next leaf even might on this, who knows. Propagations from... Oh, what did I cut myself on? Propagations from the Syngonium jade, which I don't know. I don't really see anything there on that leaf that'll be the new leaf. I don't know. We'll just wait longer. We'll see what happens. Syngonium or knack back there. It's recovering slowly from whatever I did to it. And then right there, these poor things are cuttings from a monstera not so albo. So we're just waiting to see if they actually do anything before I pitch the entire pot. I'm so frustrated with that plant. And then sitting in the floor, waiting on its turn to have its pole thoroughly watered, is the Syngonium chiapens variegated. This is the newest leaf here, looking pretty good. It does look like maybe it had some spider mites or something, but I didn't see anything on it. It's very strange. I did go ahead and spray it anyway. It's only on the front of the leaf, not the back. So I don't know. Either way, I sprayed it down. You can see some brown spots on some of the white parts. I don't know. I'll just spray it again. But yeah, it's doing fine. I've definitely let it get very, very dry. I don't know if we're actually grabbing the pole or not. I'm gonna say not. Yeah, not. But we'll keep trying. We'll keep trying. Someday it'll get in there if I actually water it consistently. So yeah, that's that one. Who else is in the floor? This Calathea that I don't actually know the name of, this type. Maybe a Rosio Picta of some sort? I don't know. It was really, really dry, once again. I mean, we had some actual crisping happening down here at the bottom. And some of the leaves are kind of crunchy. It's very dusty. I don't know. I need to just sit down one evening and just wash my plants. Just wash the plants. I'm kind of surprised it doesn't have, like, mealy bugs or something. Maybe I should hush. But anyway, that's that one. This thing here, I don't know what it is with me and this plant, but I can't grow it. Philodendron, is it Patriciae? I think. I keep letting it dry entirely too much. This is dry because it's not actually grabbing it. It does. I mean, it's been constantly growing. It's just also been constantly yellowing and browning. So I don't know. I might take it out of this whole situation, which will be the second repot since I've had it in just a few short months. I don't know. I'm just frustrated with this plant. This is my second time trying. I think I've already said that. I don't know. Frustrating. Oh, you're overheating. And then its neighbor is this Schefflera alpine, which we just repotted into this very large pot. But it seems to be doing okay. You can see these shinier leaves at the top here are the new ones. So it's done some growing. Yay for that. Got some more new leaves under there. So pretty. Yeah, it's doing good. I like it a lot. Its neighbor is this Ficus shaveriana. It's doing much better since it's repot. It's not drying out nearly so quickly. I'm pretty happy with it. Sorry, I thought it had a mealybug. It's not. It's just dirt and debris. But yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty good. Looks so pretty. I really do like this one quite a bit. I like them all. What am I talking about? So anyway, there's that one. And then over here, these two are kind of back and forth getting some water from that bag up there. Baltic Blue, Epipremnum Baltic Blue, which is doing alright. It's finally kind of grabbing the pole, so I'm hoping to get some fenestrations back on that, some splits. And then its neighbor over here is the Jasenia pothos. So, and I think it's finally found the pole. Yeah, it looks like it may have. I can't tell. But I'm gonna say yeah. So we'll see how that does in the future. And then I guess we'll do the bottom shelf of this rack here and work our way up. On the bottom shelf here, I think most of this has been watered. Some of it needs to be watered again. This is one of the Holomina Selby. It was completely flat. It had just laid completely down. I'm surprised it's perked back up at all. We did lose a few leaves out of that, but I think it'll be alright. It'll be okay. We got some crispiness for sure. It actually doesn't even feel bad considering what it's been through. But it needs to be cleaned up, and I need to pay some attention to both of those homolaminas. Yeah, and I think they'll be okay. Maybe I need to repot them too. Maybe I'll pot them together in an enormous pot. I don't know. Hoya surgoensis, very covered in sulfur. Very, very covered. This one's doing okay, but it did actually have flat mites. I saw flat mites on it. Well, I can't remember. There's two. And I threw one away, so I'm assuming maybe it was the other one that I threw away that had the flat mites. It was larger than this. It was on a trellis, and I wasn't going to keep fighting flat mites on potentially both of them. So this one was the easier one for me to treat. So that's what I've done. And it did have new growth. This is a new leaf. It's of course stopped now. It was in pon. I pulled it out of pon and put it in soil. Seems to be doing okay. But yeah, these leaves definitely stopped growing when I did that. So it's all right. It seems to be fine. We'll just keep an eye on it. The only orchid that I have, this is a pup that it just sent out this year. These couple leaves here. There's another one under there, and the original plant back here. It had another one, but that one died. Probably because it dried out too much. I did water it. And it's just in dirty moss. You can see some nice, healthy, lovely roots there. So it's done quite well, actually, in its little dirty moss mix. If you can see for the glare. But yeah, so, and that's just, I know a lot of people are like, oh, bark. For me, bark is pointless. It's not retaining any moisture at all, not in my environment. So that's why I just use dirty moss. Another monstera aurea. This one's doing all right. It's in moss also. I can't remember why I cut this one, but it's been in here a while, a few months, and it looks like I should have tried to pot that up forever ago. Look at those roots around the bottom. Can you see them? That's crazy. I should do something about that. There's a lot of roots in there. Ugh, on the to-do list. Dieffenbachia reflector back there, kind of hiding behind the monstera now. It got very dry. It's propagating in leca, and I definitely let it dry completely. But I have put some water in there, so maybe I haven't completely ruined that. We'll see. Philodendron birthmarks variegated, and it's doing all right. It just looks, I mean, that's just kind of what they look like. They grow very strange. It's all chaos. It's all chaos all the time. This one has fairly decent variegation. I have another one which you'll see later, which is kind of spitting out lots of just green, which isn't ideal. This was just one little plant when I put it in here. It needs a repot. It's got some root coming out the bottom there. Maybe you can see it. But yeah, it just needs a repot, and I'm putting that off as well. Syngonium 3 Kings back there. Let me pull that out because that's on death's door. I cut half this plant off because it was just so dry, and apparently I just left half the leaves in the pot. Oh, there's two. This one's got one little leaf, but I don't know. There's another pot of this somewhere. I have no idea where. It might still be in the bathroom. Like I said, I just watered a bunch of stuff this morning. I don't know how well this is going to come back from being so dry. I don't know. Usually I'd say syngonium are pretty tough, but they've been through something lately. Okay, next shelf up. It seems weird. I'm looking at the shelves and they seem very empty. And that's because a lot of my plants just aren't small enough to fit on these shelves anymore. So yeah, that, and I did kind of thin some stuff out. I guess we'll start with this one here. This is Hoya Silver Mint, which has been struggling for quite a while. Is that Lacanosa Silver Mint? Yeah, that's what it says. You can see, there we go. That's not happy. That's not happy. Some of it looks better than others. Like, I don't know, that actually feels okay considering how wrinkly it looks. It's firm. I don't know what was wrong with this. I had it in leca and I pulled it out, not leca, pon. You can see some new growth down in there, maybe right there. Pulled it out, put it in soil. I can't remember if it had root mealies or not. I don't think it did, but I think I treated it with systemic anyway. I don't know, so we'll just wait and see what happens with this, I guess. Hopefully it bounces back someday. It wasn't looking good in the pond either. Semi-hydro. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I have no idea. It does grow little leaves when it's happy. You can see they're all dead and dangling now. Yeah, I just keep it alive, or I try to. I don't know what it is, but it needs a cleaning. It needs some TLC. I think that's I want to say Brevulata? Bilobata? I don't know, I'll put it on screen. Not Bilobata, but it might be Brevulata, something like that. It's not happy. It's not happy. It has looked like this forever. I need to pull it off of this trellis and propagate it. It's that bad. It is that bad. This is the back of it too. This is the front. What's normally the front. It looks better, but it doesn't actually feel any better, so I don't know. Actually, that's dry too, so maybe I should water it. Then this is Alocasia, I think Pink Princess is what it's called. I know the color's weird underneath that pinkish light. There we go, that's kind of more what it looks like. It's very pretty. Very pretty. This one was slow to bounce back after I put it in pond, but I think we're making a move now. So it did lose all its leaves. It's actually got another one coming up right there. But yeah, it's bouncing back slowly but surely. One of the Alocasia Fridex. This one had so many spider mites. And they were really, really hard to get rid of. And I'm still not sure that I have. I cut off the other leaf because one leaf is enough. It's enough to fight with. But yeah, so this is the one that I left by itself. I think I pulled the others off and put them in another pot. I might have left some smaller corms in there, but anything that was more developed I pulled off and put into a separate pot, which we'll see later. Then this up here is another philodendron silver stripe. It's just one vine that I've kind of wrapped around there because I have not felt like propagating it. Hoya numelarioides, which is fine. It actually has new growth. It's fuzzy. It's cute and it's fuzzy. This is more new growth here. There's nothing wrong with this one, surprisingly. I haven't treated this one yet, I don't think. I think this might be one of like 2 or 3 maybe in the house that I haven't treated. And when I say treated, I mean I didn't spray it with sulfur. It's just dusty and dirty from hard water and whatnot. Maybe you can see some of it on the leaves back there. It flowers profusely, usually in the maybe early winter, late fall kind of area. And I do not appreciate the smell of the flowers. I'm always glad when it stops flowering. And it's a lot of them. There's a peduncle there. Maybe you can see it. A lot of the peduncles just fall off after. There's one there that's kind of going. But have no fear. They'll be back if you have this particular Hoya. It's just looking kind of not great. Once again, I think the trellis is spun around back too. But either way, the other side looks just as weird. It's overgrown. I have not been chasing it down to keep trellising it, so I think I don't want to grow this on a trellis in the future. I think I'm going to propagate it pretty much all the way back and just do a hanging pot of it in the future. So that's the plan for that one. Alocasia, is it Buddha's palm? Buddha palm, Buddha hand, Buddha something. It's lovely. This one has never given me much trouble, ever. I don't even know if I've ever treated it for spider mites, if that tells you anything. It's been great. Did I say alocasia? It might be colocasia. I'm not sure. It's a good grower. It's decided to spit out a little baby down there. Cool, cool. Needs an up pot. It definitely has roots in the reservoir. It doesn't seem to bother this plant at all, but I would just like to give it, more room to grow. Then this is another Syngonium 3 Kings. This one looks only slightly better than the last one. Once again, half the plant died off because it didn't get any water. The poor thing. I don't know. I'll probably combine the two and we'll see how it goes from there. And then up top here, it's just under a regular, like a shop light. It's not really a plant light. A lot of the lights I'm using for plants in this area are just regular shop lights. This one under here, that is a plant light, and that one under there is a plant light. Otherwise, we have a shop light there, we have an under cabinet light there. It's a very low light. But it's sufficient. The plants grow. So up here is the mint something peace lily, which I watered actually yesterday. I got around to that one. Mint platinum. Mint spathiphyllum platinum. It feels thirsty again already. It's half dry already. But yeah, I don't think I soaked it very well. It's doing fine. I had said that it was one that seems to really look lazy all the time. I think that is kind of characteristic of this plant, even when it's well watered. So I'm gonna give it some more water though. And then Mandula pothos, which has really not had a great time. You can see lots and lots of yuckiness in here. The whole thing needs to be propagated. I probably chopped it in half a while ago, and that didn't really help. I don't know, maybe it's something in the soil. I don't know what's going on with it. It has new growth, but I think the roots are just bad because of the browning in the center of the leaves. A lot of them have it. So I need to get in there and dig around. Maybe just propagate the whole thing back. It won't hurt my feelings. That is Hoya parasitica up here. And it's just been sitting there for years and years and years in bonsai mix. I say years and years and years. It's been maybe 3 years. I think even when my daughter moved back into this room, I think it still hung there. I literally just forget it exists. It's so bad, so bad. But it's doing okay. Can't say that it grows a whole lot. It's very slow. I can't remember the last time I gave it any like fertilizer or anything. I don't know. But yeah, it's all right. It's hanging in there. Behind this plate, Hoya, oop, that's really dry too. Australis varkesii, I guess that says. And I don't think I've treated this one with sulfur either. I got this one in a trade this past spring, and it's done fine. It's not like a speed demon as far as growth goes, not for me, but it is steady, slow and steady. It does look like maybe I lost a couple leaves down in there, but that's probably underwatering. Yeah, it's fuzzy, it's cute, and I love it. It doesn't complain, even though it's so dry. Getting a whole pile of things that still need water. I'm sure this needs water. It's begonia Sinbad, or it was once upon a time. It just looks like begonia really bad. Look how dry. Look how dry. Yeah, don't do this to your begonia Sinbad if you can help it. I think I'm going to chop this all the way down and see if I can't propagate any of it. I haven't had much luck getting this one to propagate for me, but we'll see. I'll water it first, get it good and hydrated. Oh, the pile, how it grow. Dieffenbachia. I have no idea what it's called. Just a dieffenbachia. I think I used to know. If I can find it, I'll put it on screen. It's very pretty. Haven't killed it yet. I made one leaf angry. I guess I did water this one because it looks good and hydrated. But yeah, I really like this. New leaf coming. That'll be, I think, the second leaf since I brought it home. Yeah, not a whole lot to say about it. It's actually doing pretty good. Pretty. Hoya pubicalyx. This is really dry. Really dry. Your Hoya leaves shouldn't do that. Yeah, it's okay. It was like a splashier one. I don't think this one is flowered. The one that I had on a trellis in another room, I've showed it before, has flowered, but this one has not. I wouldn't either if I was this dry. This goes into the water pile. Looks like we're losing some leaves over here too. Ooh. So that poor thing, not happy at all. Not that I blame it. And I guess we'll move right on to the shelf next to it and start at the bottom and work our way up. This is where a lot of my little bitty Hoyas live. I guess we'll go left to right. Hoya, New Guinea Ghost. That one it's had a myriad of problems. It definitely had heavy flat mites. That damage there, flat mites were just burrowing into the leaf there. It also had root mealies. It was in pawn until pretty recently. I've stuck it in soil with systemic, and I've sprayed that one with sulfur. We'll see if it live. This one here, Hoya, gosh, who are you? I think this is Hoya glabra here. It was okay. It wasn't growing, so it might have picked up some flat mites since it was here. When it arrived, it was pristine. I got this one in a trade this past spring as well. There's some damage up in there that really made me think flat mites also. I don't think I saw any on there, but once again I sprayed it. It had stopped growing. It was dehydrating terribly, so I've repotted it. I don't know, we're trying to make it happy again. Because it was, briefly, those days are gone. But maybe they'll come back. Hoya ganungading, same thing. Treated it for flat mites. I think I did see some on that one, which surprised me, but yeah, it also had root mealies at one point. So it wasn't systemic. I'm pretty sure the systemic is long worn off, but I don't really plan to retreat it with them, or with the systemics rather, unless there's some need to, you know what I mean, unless it's obvious that something's going on there. So we'll see how it do. This is the Hoya lobii dark, and this one looks awful, doesn't it? The lobii orange that I showed you earlier, they were the same size when they came, so this one was growing great. Have no idea what I did to make it so angry. But yeah, so there's two cuttings in here. It was just one cutting the same size as the other one, and there's a whole other plant of this around, and the other one is even larger. We'll see that later. Hoya, I want to say it's cressipediolata, maybe? Does that sound right? I'm not sure. Hasn't grown in a couple months. It put out, a few little leaves up here at the top, like 3, I think, and then it quit. So, sulfur. That's a mystery Hoya back there. I cut that down a year ago, and I treated it with hot water, and that seems to have been effective for that one. But I've treated it again with sulfur because we're here. It was growing. This is new here. That's a new leaf there. It's also decided to put a peduncle down there, which hasn't done anything, but it's there now. Hoya obovata intervariegated splash or something like that. It was fine, but I went ahead and sprayed it because it was giving me funky shaped leaves. A lot of it is, whether I saw anything or not, I suspected something because either weird shaped leaves or no growth or, poor growth, poor performance. So, yeah. This is Hoya villosa or globulosa, cowdang, I don't know. Once again, not growing, looked terrible. Hoya irena, it was growing, but it also had some damage that I suspected was from pests. I think this might have actually had flat mites, I can't remember. Either way, I sprayed it, and we do have some new growth. We'll see how that goes. Panchoy back there with those little bitty leaves. I believe it is kind of a relative of Bertonier. It's like Bertonier mini, something like that. It had root mealies and flat mites, systemic, and sulfur. And it was in, until pretty recently, in pond, and now it's in soil. Nularioides back there propagating in leca. It's funny, the ones that I did in leca have not done as well. The ones that I did in soil, rooted and have new growth. This is another one in leca. That's obesa, Euphorbia obesa, and I just repotted that not too long ago in there. It's doing pretty good. Seems to be happy in its new pot. Hasn't fallen over once. It's wonderful. So that's that. Those guys under there, and they do have that light on the strongest setting. They used to sun stress under it, not so much anymore, except for anytime the Ganungading decides to put out a new leaf, it will come out sun stressed under that light. So I don't know. Up here, the Rtillo cactus, blue torch I don't know, that thing. Its little dirty yellow baby has actually turned green. And I've got it leaning up against the wall because I'm trying to get it to pull back and straighten up towards that light there. We'll see how that goes. Still haven't really cleaned it up a whole lot, but it does look better. It's in a pot, so victory. Hanging here, the Episcia chocolate soldier. Episcia, yep. It's doing okay. I did water it. It was pretty sad looking. We might have lost a couple leaves down under, but overall it took the underwatering fairly well, to my surprise. In the back corner, Alocasia scalprum. It is still trying to adjust to life in leca. I don't know how well it's going, but it's in there. I think this is Maharani. I might have gotten that confused. Mellow, Maharani, who are you? I don't know. I don't know, but I like it. Just give me this new leaf. This one's going. Alocasia Okinawa silver. Still trying to adjust to its life in pawn. It's been a couple months. It's not going great. Not going great. I might have to pot that down deeper. So I might have to disrupt it again, cut off the bottom of that stump and like really set it down in there. You can see it's got a little pup there, but it's giving every other leaf is all white, so it's really struggling to survive. This is Alocasia reginae. It's also having a hard time adjusting to life in pawn, but we do have some roots growing. I don't know if you can see that little guy there. I don't know. I'll just wait longer. Alocasia bambino. It's hesitant to grow for me. This is anthurium Fairchild crystallinum crossed with, oh lord, it's a mouthful, hold on. It's anthurium Craig. No, it's crystallinum, Fairchild crystallinum, Zara X Michelle. So, I don't know. This one was bone dry. It was so dry. And it was in the process of putting out this cute little leaf, so I don't know how well that's gonna come out. This was the previous newest leaf, which it looks like it's covered in spider mites. It's not. It's just really, really dusty. Because I haven't even thought about cleaning a plant in a while. But yeah, so hopefully that'll be okay, despite the underwatering. It really didn't appreciate it. Esmeraldense back here, philodendron esmeraldense. I'm sure it needs water. I'm sure of it. Behind the IV bag. It's an Alocasia bisma. Is that Alocasia bisma platinum? I want to say that that's what that is. This leaf is so pretty. It gave me a birthmark. I don't know if you can see it up there. It's just a slightly different shade of green. And it's got another one coming. It's got pups everywhere, and it's drying like you would not believe, like super fast. It's definitely needing an up pot. Another one here. It might actually have spider mites because there's some webbing. Maybe it's actual webbing, I don't know, on that leaf. But yeah, I really like that one. It's been one it doesn't care. It's been fine. It's definitely dried out quite a bit, but it's tough and it's been handling it. The stump from the philodendron Bob C. I'm not sure if that's been so dry that it's not viable anymore. I don't know. We're just going to leave it in there. Up here is a mess. This is philodendron Bernardi, which I have ignored for about 3 years. 2 at least. No, I'm going to say 3. I really need to uppot it, like water it occasionally. That's the newest leaf there. This was a really big plant at one point. Not anymore. I cut it down because I just couldn't manage a plant that large in the house anymore. I mean, it has really long petioles, really long leaves. So I have not given it any support. I have not given it any love. I should. I guess if it gets that big again, I can just chop it again. I don't know. But yeah, philodendron Bernardi. It used to be superbum, I believe. Begonia looking glass back there probably needs water. Oh yeah, definitely. It doesn't look that bad. It's kind of growing back now. I did propagate it, or tried to propagate it. I think I've let those dry out though. I don't know. I'll put this aside for water. Amedrium medium silver, still not doing a whole lot. I don't know. Like I said, it tries to grow and then it just doesn't. It's failed a lot. That's the one leaf. There was 2 cuttings in here. Each had a leaf about like this. The other leaf died off. This one's just kind of hanging in there. Yet another monstera aurea up here. This is the one the cat broke the leaf. It's got a new leaf coming though, right there. So we'll see how that goes. Little bitty monstera standeliana that I really thought was dead because it was so wilted. It needs an up pot. Tiny pot, dry quick. And I don't want to water this every day. This was variegated philodendron Xanadu. It's just kind of looking yellow. It's also looking suspicious. Like spider mighty, maybe thrippy, that's new. Let me really stare at this for a second. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with it, but it definitely doesn't look great. Kind of looks like spider mite damage, but I don't see spider mites. I don't know. I see some black dots in there. I hope that's not thrips. I don't know, but either way, it's going to go be sprayed. Okay, the last bit I tried to record corrupted. I have no idea why. And my camera shut off randomly and wouldn't come back on. That's not great. Anyway, I can't even remember where I was, but philodendron UPI, it was doing great. It's still not doing bad. It just got really dry. And the humidifiers in here weren't running. I think the humidity was down to 26%, something like that for a few days. Anyway, so this leaf broke itself. It just never came out. I guess it was stuck there for a while because there's actually another right there, right quick on its heels. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. This one here is very thirsty. Philodendron Snowdrift. It's the one that I had some rust, like bacterial or fungal issues. Not bad. It's been treated. It's doing better. I might rot it when I water it because that's really dry. I mean, it's just so dry. But it does have a new leaf coming if I don't kill it. We'll see. Then this shelf here, which looks pretty dark because it is. I think there's only 6 plants on it, and they're pretty low light tolerant ones anyway. So up here is the philodendron, syngonium. Is it Winlandii? Winlandii? Let's go that route. Pretty sure that's what it's called. I still haven't cleaned it. It's got like this white powdery business on it. It's not mealybugs. Not that I've seen yet anyway. I don't know. It seems to be doing okay. It was very dry. Wow, look at those cobwebs. Holy cow. Holy guacamole. I guess I need to clean that off. Spider party up there. Anyway, this plant, it was very dry. It only lost a couple leaves though, like 2 of them yellowed. So I had pulled them off and it seems to be okay now. everything was very, very dry. Half the things are still very, very dry. So, yeah, that's that one. The anthurium vitarifolium, this had dried out completely. The leca was bone dry and the reservoir was bone dry. Oops, and I had a new leaf coming, so I suspect that's all I'm getting out of this leaf, which isn't ideal, but let's be honest, I've never had a great time growing this plant, but I keep trying. This leaf is yellowing. This is the oldest leaf currently, so I guess that one's going to suffer the most from being left to dry. I don't know. I'm going to keep trying with it, I guess, you know, till it dies. So, the anthurium gracile, which I don't think I've talked about this plant since I did the seedlings, or the seeds. It had around a lot of the inflorescences, there were mealybugs, and I think there were 4 or 5 flowers on it. I cut them all off, because that's the only place I could find any mealybugs, but they like kept finding it again. Maybe they were just hiding up in there in the inflorescences, and I just couldn't find them. But, oh, there's some sort of red mite on there too. Do you see it? It's so tiny. Right there. Not far from my fingernail. But, yeah, it was driving me nuts trying to get rid of the mealybugs, so I just cut the inflows off. Yeah, there's some more red mites on there. Okay, I'm going to take that and spray that. I watered it, but I didn't check it apparently. I guess I'll check this guy while I'm here too. This is the Anthurium radicans luxurians, or luxurians radicans cross. And I'm trying to get it used to leca. Trying to transfer it to leca from soil. This leaf was already coming out. It just hasn't changed color yet. I assume it will become more green. It feels kind of, you know, not great in the pot. I don't know. We'll check it if it doesn't seem better in a week or two more. It's been a while. But it's not really declining. It already had kind of some yellowing on it. So I don't know. This here, Hoya polynura. This plant has been such a pain in the butt for me. Look, there's already a yellow leaf on there. To be fair, it was dry. This is one that I've had it a while. 3 years maybe? I don't know. And it looks like this because it is cuttings that I just potted up very recently. So it's one that it grows great. I mean, it takes off, it grows like a champ, it's a full bushy thing. And then all of a sudden, it's just not looking so hot. And it kind of dies back. And that's what it's done to me over and over and over. And if this one does it again, this is its last chance. I don't know how many times I've propagated this thing and started over. If it does it again, I'm just done with Hoya polynura, which is a shame because I really do, I like it. I think it's a lovely plant. And you know, well, I mean, it's covered with sulfur right now, but you know, when it grows good, it grows good. And when it doesn't, you know, that's my pet rock, Tim. This catastrophe here, this is anthurium. This is anthurium fingers because I've been sitting here for like 5 minutes trying to remember the name of this plant. This is the best leaf on it. This one here came out and just quit there. This is the newest leaf. Looks great for now. It won't be long before it looks like this one. Crispy at the ends. I don't know why, it just kind of always looks like that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to enjoy this leaf as long as it looks that way. Because, you know, that's nice for now. It does, like, great outside, I think. Is this one that does? I'm pretty sure it does. Kind of hates it indoors. Also very prone to spider mites. This leaf here probably has them. I just can't see it. I say probably this particular leaf because its neighbors are some alocasia. Yeah, so that's what's going on that shelf. This over here in the corner, that's Hoya pentaphlebia. I sprayed that one down. I think it needs to be propagated all the way back. It's not looking not looking good. I don't think I saw anything on that one. Sprayed it anyway, but yeah, it just doesn't look good. And then Hoya obovata, just regular old Hoya obovata, and that one's okay. Once again, I sprayed it as well, even though that one did have new growth. I think it was wonky. Yeah, some really, like that's an obovata leaf. Not that they're supposed to look like that, but that's what it is. So yeah, I sprayed that one down, and I'm hoping that they'll do better. If not, I'll propagate them. I have like 4 of those anyway, so maybe I won't propagate that one. Alocasia Syrian. It's been pretty spider mitey. I think I had just treated it before Life took me for a ride. Yeah, I can see some webbing. Not heavy, but I can see some. So, and then beneath it, that is Alocasia tigrina, which looks like it has an active spider mite issue. They all need to be treated. This is the Friedeck. I've cut a lot of leaves off of it. It's growing some new ones now. But I don't know if it was too much or not enough nutrients. I'm going to say one or the other. It's in pawn. Most of my alocasia are, if not all of them. Yeah, this one has some spider mites too. I don't know if you can see them. Just the regular, like, little white mites. But, yeah. So this needs to be treated. Everything needs to be treated. Long story short. But it's doing okay. It seems to be doing much better with the whole nutrient issue. Okay, so you can see that that one's definitely improved. And the newest leaf is looking pretty good there. So hopefully I've got that straight. Those are the plants that are jammed there. Oh, and this Mathilde, pardon me if I don't get too close to these lights. I burnt the crap out of myself on them. It's just a Mathilde splash. I got smart. I pulled it away from the hot light. It is currently trying to adapt to life in soil, but it has new little leaves growing. This one had root mealies, little peduncle there. It didn't flower because I snatched it out and put it in soil. Some of the leaves aren't looking so hot. I don't know what's up with these leaves here, but they've been on there and white for quite a while, or very, I don't know, chlorotic. Maybe I burnt them. I don't know, but they're just hanging in there that way. But yeah, we have some new growth. So hopefully it's doing okay. No more root mealies, please. Please, please, please. And then kind of behind where I've just been standing is my desk. Looking a mess. I can't be bothered apparently to clean it up right now. This is up here because I was watering it earlier. It's the anthurium clarinervium. Which got very underwatered. We have some more crisping of leaves than we had before. I just cut it off. I'm least concerned. Least concerned. This plant is fine. This is the newest leaf, which is hardened off now. It's putting out an inflow. It kind of does it every leaf. It also gives me an inflow, and then it'll start growing another leaf before that's gone. But yeah, it is very pretty, even if it's cupped from being so dry. Grew in very dry. Can you see how cupped it is? I don't know. It's cute though. And then on the other side of that is Alocasia Dawn. It's up here because I had spider mites, and I was spraying it, and then I set it up here. I was thinking, oh yeah, I won't put it near any other plants. This is touching it. It's touching it. So I'm sure it's got spider mites now too. Oh, sorry. I'll just spray them both again. It's fine. I'll put them back tomorrow. Then this is the other side of the shelf where the alocasias are. There's only the one plant on here right now, and it's Hoya mindorensis. It has been sprayed. It's okay. It's just hanging out there. I think I'm going to propagate it, because I think something's up with the roots. Half the plant is nice and perky, and the other half not so much. It did flower, I think 2 years in a row. Only outside, doesn't do it in here. I think pretty much everything in there is either dead or dying. It was some propagations, begonia looking glass, the monstera Peru, aria, I guess it is. I don't know, I can't remember what all, but none of it's looking great. I did give it some water. We'll see if anything survives or perks up. The dieffenbachia, whose name, once again, I cannot remember. I just got this one not too long ago. Looking pretty nice. That's a new leaf. I haven't watered this since I repotted it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. It needs water, I'm sure. We've got some dead leaves in here, so I'm sure it could use a drink. Oh yeah, it's good and dry. Dry like a desert. I'll water it, I will. It's just very, very heavy. Even that pot, it's not actually planted in that, it's in a cover pot in there. But either way, it's super heavy. I think I tore my sack the last time I tried to pick that thing up. Down beneath it, the mess in the floor, forgive that. This is more of that mystery Hoya that I boiled. I haven't watered that in probably 3 months, maybe more. Alocasia, or yeah, Raven ZZ. It's got some new growth. It hasn't minded being a little bit dry. It doesn't care. It's just velcroed up because it splays. It's one of those plants that really would like to consume a lot of room. This one's darkening off. Can you see? It kind of comes in green, but it changes to this really dark color. It's very pretty. I like it. I would love to have a variegated one. I've seen people with them, and oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Anyway, that's that one. This is a mystery aglaonema. I don't know the type, but it's doing all right. I don't know why the soil is orange on top. Couldn't tell you what happened there. Oh, it was just the top. That's very strange. Underneath it's white again. Well, the perlite. I don't know. Maybe my water leaving some sort of buildup or something. One of the nutrients or something. I don't know. Fertilizer. Either way, it's a great aglaonema. I bought it about a year ago, a little over a year ago, and it was infested with mealybugs. Put it in systemic and never had another problem with it since. So yeah, and it's got a little baby. In here, not a whole lot going on. I'll show you though. I think everything in here still needs to be watered. I think it just hasn't died because it's, you know, closed. Philodendron Florida Beauty up there. Dead stick plant. Variegated string of pearls. Is that right? Something like that. String of peas? I don't know. I have no idea what this alocasia is. It went dormant. Someday maybe it'll be back. These were some sort of alocasia that I was trying to grow. That one there's moldy. So I don't think that one's going to do anything. I think anything that is okay in there I'll probably pull out and put in pawn because this is not going well. Don't know what that was. Some sort of alocasia that may or may not grow. This is anthurium hoffmanii seeds that have popped. That one's going to open a leaf very soon. So I might actually have that in my collection again. We'll see. Alocasia, black velvet. It's just in here because it was dormant. This is Alocasia infernalis. That's dead. Dead. I don't think that's going to do anything. I don't know. I'll dig around in there and see. Anthurium forgetii, that one's fine. I did water it. It does have some new roots. This one here I just recently got. I don't know. It's trying for a new leaf too. There we go. It's a little crumpled in there. Cinderella in. I got this in a trade. Hoya silver something. Croniana. It's gone. Can't think of it. Hoya hushkiliana. Is that Incana intervariegated? Incrusata intervariegated? I don't know. Once again. They're okay. They need water. Everything has new growth except for that one. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on in there. I'm not even sure why I have it on because there's so little in there right now. And then the last kind of planty area in this room is this shelf back here, which used to be right directly behind my desk. It's a mess. The biggest plant I have over here is this. It's Ficus burgundy, Taniki, and Ruby all together. Taniki on this side, Ruby on this side, and then Burgundy right here. It needs water. I still haven't watered this one yet, but I like it. I do like it quite a bit. It needs some TLC. It needs to be cleaned too. Then I guess we'll go across the top shelf. This is the Hoya, Hoya, anthurium polystictum or something like that. It's okay. I know it looks like I'm blasting it with light. This is maybe 200 or 300 foot candles, so it's really not a whole lot of light. Every time I water it, it yellows. Every time it dries out, it yellows. Yeah, you can see some yellow leaves there. I don't know. It hates everything, including me. Oh, its inflow is open today. It wasn't yesterday, or I think it was last night I was looking at it. There we go. Isn't it cute? Okay. Hoya lobii dark back here. This is the one that I said is doing great, and it is. It is. It's doing magnificent. Kind of trailing down here even. I don't know. This one's happy. The other one, not so much. But this one has grown so much better than the other one. The orange. Even the one that I said is unhappy has grown so much better than the other one. Look how dark it is. I believe it's called dark or black because of the flower, not the foliage, but either way. What looks like splashes, once again, it's just, well, that's mechanical damage. But that there is, once again, sulfur. So it's not really a splashy one. Maybe here and there it'll have a freckle. But, yeah. This is the angriest begonia. This is begonia magic carpet, which I really like. But once again, it went really, really way too dry. It's the one that grows leaves out of its leaves. A short time ago, this was very happy and much fuller. About half the plant died back in a week and a couple days, maybe. So, yeah. There's some new growth, though, so maybe it'll be alright. I haven't tried to propagate this one yet, so maybe I should do that before I completely, off the whole plant. Then behind it is the philodendron Burley Marks variegated mother plant, which is really strange looking. It does put out a lot of green growth points. I just cut the whole growth point off. If it's all green, which is probably part of the reason why it's so sparse, I think it's doing an all yellow one. I don't know, but mostly. Looks like one over there too. Yeah, that one is all yellow. So I'll cut those off as well. I don't know. It's the weirdest looking thing ever. Another Hoya obovata splash intervariegated. This one has very low variegation. The other one has a little bit more variegation. This one might be splashier though. I don't know. Oh, there's a new leaf. Can you see it in there? Yeah. Root mealies. We'll see how it goes. It's in systemic. I haven't seen any root mealies tootling around in here, so that's a good thing. See some new roots. That's a wonderful thing. This is another anthurium something. Clarinervium exterodactylax magnificum. And this one was bone dry in pawn. And it also had some spider mites. I don't know if you can see how terrible that looks. I am so sad. Half this leaf is just gone. This one is starting to yellow now. I don't know. I definitely missed the opportunity to get a nice leaf out of it. I didn't even realize it was growing a new leaf, to be honest with you. I mean, it was just barely sticking out the last time I paid any attention. I feel bad that I let it get that bad. I have a really hard time getting decent leaves on this plant. Mostly because it dries terribly quickly. This is the first leaf it's put out since it's been transferred to pawn. It was in soil. Another anthurium radicans luxurians, or Lux Rad Lux, I don't know. It's adjusting to life after being repotted. I ripped a bunch of pups off. There's another one that's just decided to come up. Needs water. It's got some browning on it. It's probably way too dry. Way too dry right now. Okay, we're in the home stretch, but we are just breaking records with the overheating. I'm overheating, you're overheating, everything is overheating. Back there, that's a little prop jar. I don't know what all is in there, to be honest with you. Looks like some monstera siltivacana, Rhipsalis decursiva, monstera standeliana. I'm guessing that that's gonna be a gigas there with the long leaf. I don't know. There's just stuff. There's some pink princess. Oh, some syngonium silver hero. Yeah, there's the pink princess. I don't know. I don't know what half of that is. It's things. This is more of that syngonium silver hero. This one's probably taken the worst of the two for the underwatering. Hoya silver dollar. It had root mealies at one point. I think I got rid of those and then it wasn't growing, so I think it had flat mites. But we're growing again and it's been treated, so yay. An alocasia frydek, little baby one, looking pretty dark back there. Dragon scale, alocasia dragon scale. This one's trying to flower. More of that mystery Hoya. Monstera laniata. It's doing pretty good despite drying quite a bit. I'm gonna move that one over for a minute. If I can not throw it on the floor, that would be super. More of the amidrium, more of the amidrium medium silver. It's growing. These are new leaves. Both the mother leaves died off, but it's got a ton of little growth points sticking up. Hoya parasitica. This one's still in the nursery pot. I have had it for years. It's just wrapped around itself. Yeah, this is the black margins. I don't know if you can see. It's quite dark. But it's pretty. It's pretty. I wasn't really having any problems with this, but once again, I sprayed it anyway. It needs a repot so desperately. It's still in the nursery pot. It's like a 3-inch, 4-inch nursery pot. Back here, just some jade syngonium cuttings that have rooted and are giving me new growth. Over here, is this Sipitangensis? Who are you? Maybe that's right. No, sigillatus. I think it's Hoya sigillatus. It has lovely sun stressing. It wasn't growing, so I've sprayed it. It's growing some there now. I don't know if you can see that. Another Hoya numelarioides back there. Another Hoya obovata. Oop, Hoya obovata here. Another one. Hoya Wilbur Graves, which I cut trying to get more of that silver. I'm not getting that on this particular one, so I'll cut it again. Those are the cuttings from the first time around. The yellowing was already there, and it's just stayed that way. It's very strange. Oddly enough, the pieces I cut off because they weren't silvery enough, they have new growth, and it's silver. Go figure. Begonia listata. Not doing great. It was very dry. I've had kind of problems with this begonia. It hasn't been doing great for me. I don't know. I'm going to try repotting it. Maybe that'll make it happier. Are we focusing at all? I love this begonia. I love the little pink hairs. I love the green stripe down the center. I would just love it to also be somewhat remotely happy. I don't know how to do that, apparently. Hoya finlaysonii, very pretty. This one here I've had problems with off and on, and I think it's been flat mites. I don't know. I've treated it 800 times. It grew very well last year, the most it's ever grown. It grew last summer in the greenhouse. I don't think it necessarily loves heat. It grew in the shade, like a shadier part of the greenhouse, and it gave me these nice big leaves. So underneath there, maybe you can see it from this side. Nope. Down here, I think this is the last plant, is a bolero lipstick plant, variegated. It's very pretty. I'm still having problems with like the ends dying off of a lot of growth, and that could be underwatering, honestly. It was bone dry when I picked it up. I still haven't repotted it. I guess I need to do that. Maybe it'll be happier. I'm halfway afraid to repot this thing. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to suck it up and do it. Maybe I'll propagate some and then repot the remainder of the plant. You know, just in case things go horribly, horribly wrong. Because I really do like this plant. I do think it's lovely. It's unhappy. It's drying really, really quick all the time. And I just don't think it wants to dry quite that fast. Okay, so I think that's most, if not all, of the plants. Yeah, even minus maybe a few here and there that are in the bathroom either being treated or watered, that I just kind of abandoned in there. So here's the part where I talk about why I've been out of sorts. My daughter had surgery, and I, you know, try to spend some time with her afterwards, you know, do what I can for her. I spend that entire day with her, actually, which is fine. I don't mind that. And every day since then, she's really been struggling. I think that was 6 days ago, something like that. I don't know. Her, like, they're trying to manage her pain, but it's not going well. She's not very tolerant of pain medication. So basically, she's just got rampant pain that nobody can really do anything about. Nobody can really help her. I guess unless she wants to go be admitted to the hospital. And she doesn't. Like, I don't think most people do. So she's just trying to tough it out. But anyway, it's tough to see your kid go through that, even if your kid's an adult, which mine is. She's 24. It's our middle child. So that, you know, that's just tough. It's distracting, and it's been pulling my focus away from anything to do with plants. But in the midst of all that, my cat Knox, my black kitty, the boy, the bigger one, he's a year and a half old. He's had ongoing issues. He's had some kidney and UTI issues, like kidney stones or sludge. The pH of his urine was off. You know, just things that basically were making him pretty miserable. And he's been back and forth to the vet for that a few times, despite the fact that we have him on pH balanced food. Basically, we were doing everything the vet had told us to do. My normal vet. He'd been back in there after that with, I want to say seizures, because I don't know how else you'd describe it. But was it actually a seizure? No. But that's how anybody seeing it would describe it. Like the quickest, fastest, shortest seizure ever, with a very quick recovery time. I don't know how to explain it any other way than that. And that's what I was telling the vet. She's like, well, why didn't you take a video? I'm like, because it's that quick. By the time I get my phone out of my pocket, pull up the camera, and hit the record button, he's just sitting there. He appears fine. So we never actually figured out what that was. Then earlier this week, we had noticed that he looked a little thin. So I made an appointment with my regular vet. It would have been about a week later. Between the time I made that appointment and the week later, my daughter had surgery. I had spent a day with her. I wasn't home that much. I noticed the cat was significantly worse the day after my daughter had surgery. It was the first time I'd really seen him in probably about 24 hours. He just looked awful. He was dehydrated. I took him to the emergency vet. I couldn't wait for the appointment. Something was very, very wrong. got him there, and you know, he's in the carrier. She says, put him on the table. So I pull him out, and he's light as a feather. Put him on the table, and she's looking at him, and his eyes are sunken, he's dehydrated, and under these bright white lights on this exam table, we both are very immediately aware that his skin is yellow. Yellow. He's a black cat, it's hard to see his skin. But you know, you get digging around, looking at his ears, looking at his gums, he's yellow. Basically, his liver was failing, his kidney, he only had one, we didn't know that. My other vet didn't pick up on it, the emergency vet did. He died. He died. And I've been kicking myself about it, beating myself up about it. When I say he died, we put him to sleep. Because his body was so damaged. I came home a couple hours later with this. This is his hair, this is his collar. So that was tough. I'm still kicking myself and beating myself up about it. And like, the vet, I don't know how many times she's like, you know, this isn't your fault, this is, you know, he had a birth defect, he only had one kidney to begin with, why it wasn't caught sooner, I don't know. I mean, I did take him to the vet, I took him to the vet. My vet didn't catch it. But that would explain why he's had so many struggles, I guess. So yeah, I feel like trash. I really do. And the only consolation I really have is that he's not suffering. You know? So anyway, that's just, I've been in my own head a lot with my daughter and with the cat, and you know, in my own head and not much in my plants lately. All in my head, not all in my plants. So, you know, it's one of those things it'll get easier, better with the passage of time. Maybe I'll stop beating myself up about it so much. You know, it's just a bad feeling. It really is. So anyway, I don't mean to be depressing, but you know, I'm pretty bummed. I really am. Yeah, I'll try to be perkier next video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me, and come back and check me out again soon. Bye.